should turn off the car.
We'll get better.
We'll get better at this.
We made sure the audio is actually working.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's working.
merrily on high.
That's
That's not even how that song goes.
Okay,
I
but
totally
you can't sing it though.
Yeah, don't get us a fucking
Copyrights.
copyright
Yeah,
strike.
it's not a good
Hi, good morning to all of you who don't
speak
fucking
louder.
sleep. I'm
Which
Reese.
just means
You have to
those
talk louder.
people.
You're not
I'm the
reaching
dungeon master.
There you go.
This is really hurting my throat right now, and I hate you.
It's not me, it's the thing.
I ate you.
Move it
or
closer
I
to
ate
me.
you.
Fuck
Is that
you.
better?
Yeah, that's. I don't care.
Can
Okay.
you hear me from there though?
Say
What?
it again.
Yes, it still picks
Can
up.
you hear me?
Yes, it
Yeah.
still picks up.
Yeah, it still picks up.
Good, howdy.
Wonderful. Okay. Do we have anything? I believe we had somebody wanted to say something before we went.
Oh yeah. No, not
Hey, so let's jump over to Charlotte over here. Charlotte, why don't you give your little blurb?
that. Yeah, so that's my list of stuff I should have brought here. Okay, so hi, I'm Charlotte, but, well, sorry, oh god, I'm Danny, but I play Charlotte. I just wanted to let you know about this thing that happens every year for Valentine's Day. For children in school, they look forward to getting Valentine's Day cards from their classmates, but for the kids in hospitals, they can look forward to the cards they get from people sending them online. So I just wanted to let you all know that you can send Valentine cards to kids in hospitals all across Canada and the US through the internet. We'll be putting up a few links, so we'll let you know when that's happening, but please, if you have the time to go through and send a few cards to a few sick kids, trust me, it'll make their day. Plus, some organizations match the amount of cards sent with donations. It'll brighten a kid's day, and it'll help the hospital. I can't talk. It takes less than 20 minutes to go through all of those links, and I know this sounds like a commercial at this point, but it's me asking you this from the bottom of my heart. And please, if you could share the links around, or if you have any other links, send them over to us, and we'll gladly share those as well. And that's all I wrote, but yeah.
Yay! Good job.
So we should get those links and put them in our
Yes, we will do that.
description of
Yeah.
this, or in our
We will put
main
that
We'll put it
somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in the description. I was thinking on Twitter.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely Twitter.
Perfect.
We'll have it
Yeah.
there.
Any other announcements or ditto?
Mhm.
Stop.
So Ditto's being an idiot as usual.
Any
And
other
I'm
announcements or?
I'm here instead of
I'll
Skyping.
send
you.
them.
Oh yeah! So our beautiful boy Jasper has joined us. As you can see, we're not in the regular setup. We are currently filming from the wonderful Bella's house.
We're just reaching.
It's just hands. All you guys get to know is hands at this point.
Yeah.
This is my hand. It's very nice.
She plays
I
Kizzo.
think I'm the only one wearing a ring. So.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can
by the
make
way,
a
the
ring.
ring broke.
Oh no, don't. That'll
Oh,
cut
that's
the
already
circulation.
broke.
That's gonna
Broke.
cut your circulation off. Please don't lose a finger.
So-
We've already lost one.
There we go.
Okay,
Friday, am I getting married?
we ready to go, ladies
I
and gents?
forgot.
Yeah.
Stop.
Constantly.
Stop. I told you no gay at the table.
Okay, no gay at the table. You shouldn't
There's
be gay at the table.
literally a
Shit
flag
could be
right
gay.
behind you.
Yeah, it's literally behind
They
right
can't
behind
see.
you.
They can see the blue. They don't know. They do know now.
They now know that we have a pride
We've been
flag on the wall.
exposed.
Oh no, they know we're gay.
Oh, we also have a live audience that's literally sitting behind the
Oh yeah, our
Yeah,
live
that's another
audience is
announcement.
also here.
Hey.
That will
Hey, stay
be
quiet.
leaving partway through.
Live audiences don't talk anymore.
Take the horse.
Well, okay, thanks.
I love the horse.
Pronounce your S's.
Did you
Pronounce
say
your
take
S's.
take the whore?
Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
horse,
God.
the horse! Not the whore, not the whore!
Okay, we're gonna
No, that's
stop
fine.
now, and we're gonna go play the game.
Fantastic.
What game?
Also, I'm not sick
Uh,
anymore.
Yeah.
Basketball.
I am sick though, so if my voice is quiet or like not
Copyright.
pleasant, just sorry about that. Okay,
We need to change
Jason, if you
Guys.
get a copyright strike on our fucking channel, I'm gonna fucking kill
That is a
you.
basketball, and my head went to High School Musical.
Okay,
I know,
anyway.
guys, if any of us start referencing something, we gotta shout. So sorry to you listeners, but it might get really loud at random points.
Do we have a pillow we can just toss at people who are being idiots?
We have
no.
coffee on the
We
table.
have coffee and laptops.
Oh wait, I have the
We're
bag of
not-
holding.
We're not doing this.
Did
Hi.
someone take Jason's phone?
So I'm Reese once again,
Okay.
and I'm going to speak louder because no one's fucking listening to me.
No.
Awesome.
No.
I love you, Reese.
Yes, no, I know.
Don't throw the ball.
If you throw that ball, I swear.
We were moving it out of the way.
Okay, well.
Okay, so we left off. You guys had a lovely little bonding moment on the ship.
Right.
It's been about a day and a half since Baz's shark attack.
Did we have to amputate Bass's leg?
No, he's.
We did not. His
Sure.
leg is almost fully healed now, so you'll have disadvantage on major things you want to do for acrobatics and such. But other than that, you should be fine as long as you don't want to do backflips.
Leave that
When does
to
Baz
me.
not want to do backflips?
He's a dwarf. All he has to do is sit down and then roll.
Yeah. That's called a backward somersault.
Someone please draw this.
Baz in a backflip. Okay. So it's been about a day and a half. You had a lovely run-in with the ship's bath, which is just a tub they put on the top deck and fill with salt water
Wait, what?
and then say bathe. It's heated to get rid of most of the stuff in it.
Hot tub.
So you guys have had baths, which is nice.
Yeah.
You're nice and clean again. Okay. It's been about a day and a half. You guys are all standing on the...
Guys, we're standing.
You guys are all
Guys,
standing
we're standing.
next to Shimi up in the captain's thing, and I'm going to read your intro blurb.
Wait, hold on. We're standing next to sushi, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
If some Jasper, do me a favor and hit Daddy.
Don't do that.
And it's going to be quiet so I can read. The horizon burns with a purple light, blowing in mist, blowing in from the sea and clashing with the dark stone of the cliffside. The wind, which had been fat with power and blown hard against the sails, now slackened to a lazy gale. With the wind had gone the heat. Now it was replaced with a shiver-inducing cold, the type that made you reach for a shawl or sweater as you went. Just cold enough to give you goosebumps, without requiring that you stay beneath deck huddled in your cabin to escape the wind. Through the mist gathered around you stand spirals of stone reaching up from beneath dark waves, arcing over and leaning against each other, so they come to make a sort of maze. Once in a while, you pass the carcass of old ships that have seen a bad fate, dashed against the rocks or sunken by the tide. Shishimi, the captain, steers the ship with a deft hand through narrow hallways just deep enough to clear the rising shoal, or reaching beneath the surface so far that the sands drop off in pit-like areas. The Greymyre, you realize, is a dangerous and enchanting place. In the waves, you see the occasional breach of dark fins and bright lights. The wind whistles as it travels through the pillars, accompanied by the soft tilt of murmuring voices raised in a barely distinguishable song. Watch the waters here. The rocks are dangerous, but the things that live beneath them are deadly, Shishimi warns, as she turns the ship deeper into the Greymyre. 2 days to cross with luck. Knowing the mire, however, I would say luck is not a fair thing. We should hope for 3 and prepare for 4. Keep your ears and eyes open, but do not trust in them. It is with these words you finally clear the initial barrier of stone and watch as the last glimpse of the sun disappears, leaving you encompassed by the haunting mist of the mire for who knows how long.
That was pretty good, and the first time you've ever done that.
It is. I thought I'd try out something new.
Hey, Reese, was that a fucking character voice?
Yeah, where's your fucking character voices, bitch?
No, that was just like playing out the scenery.
Playing out the scene, guys. Come on.
Show,
Okay.
don't tell.
It's fine. He's gonna kill Charlotte sooner or later.
So yeah, it's been a day and a half, and you guys have officially entered the Greymyre.
I forgot what
It's-
you were doing.
You're currently
I thought
heading
we were
to
in Greymyre already.
what's the harbor called? Valkar Harbor, I believe.
Yeah. Or is it Valkar?
V something harbor.
Yeah. It's in my notes.
It's important that I should probably know that, but
Valkyrie,
One sec, I'll open up my notes.
yeah.
Blood
Um,
orange.
But it's been about a day and a half, and you guys have finally entered the Greymyre, which is, as I described it, It's tall pillars of stone, mists that come up to the top of the deck. Like, they roll across the deck. It's very, very difficult to see. It's very, very dark. You get the occasional glimpse of lights beneath the water, and Fen has lit a couple of lanterns that are kind of hung from strategic positions around the ships. You have some light. But other than that, you can't see the sun at all. It's just mist and fog and very little light.
Do you mind the heat?
Okay. So Shishimi turns to you and she kind of hands the steering wheel off to Fen as she does it, so that she can address you properly. She says, "The Greymyre, Vankar.
Vankar.
Thank you. Vankar Harbor is where you're heading."
In the Red Cove.
So Shishimi turns to you and she says, "The Greymyre is a graveyard for many things. We will need to protect the ship from anything that should want to destroy it. This is generally where the ships go missing. As I understand, it's your job to keep that from happening to us. So."
Yo, fuck that. Bye, guys. And game's ending.
I'm just a passenger, guys. It's fine.
The top deck will have to be watched, of course. Things in the water are not fun to find, and things from the pillars are not often unseen. However, I do believe it would be best if at least some of you were to stand watch in the observatory. Fen will go with you, and Tallulah. Would you like to split yourselves into 2 and 3, please? We need 2 people on the top deck and 3 people in the observatory.
I'll go to the top deck.
I'll go to the top deck.
I guess that leaves us going to the observatory.
Girl
Oh
power.
dear. The 3 of us.
Wonderful.
Air 5.
Should I probably actually get out what my spells are?
Okay,
Yeah,
but
sure.
our
I
DM is
organized mine.
splitting us up.
Organized all.
Stop showing off.
Okay. So Kiza and Charlotte are staying up top. Baz, Tavik, and Shin are going below.
Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Fun. So Fen hands the steering wheel back over to Shishimi. And he leads the 5 of you over onto like the actual proper deck and stuff, and he says, "Boys, if you'd wait here for me, I'll show the ladies their post, and then we'll be gone."
I just realized we actually split up into genders.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
We left the woman on the top deck.
Well, kind of.
Girl power.
No, the women left you in the bottom deck.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Ladies, if you'd follow me, please.
Well, not exactly girl power.
So Fen
But
leads
I
you
thought that
guys.
Charlotte is non-binary.
Oh.
Bless.
You learn something new every day.
So Fen leads you guys across the deck, actually to a small raised platform that you've seen, but you guys have never actually been on. But he leads you up a set of staircases to a small deck area with 2 large crossbows, like Kiza-sized crossbows, both aimed one on either side of the actual prow of the ship, so that they can be turned slightly and rotated to hit things in front of the ship. There are 2 racks of crossbow bolts, and these things are like Charlotte sized. Like, these are fucking big crossbow bolts. And he says, "Do I need to show you how to work these, or?"
No.
Wonderful, ladies. Enjoy.
I think you should have.
Yeah. Probably.
And he says, "Good luck with the Greymyre. Remember what Shishimi said. Use your eyes and ears, but don't trust them, so to speak." And with that, he goes back down the staircase around the side of the thing. And he comes back down to you guys, and he says, "Let's go, boys." And just as he's going down, he knocks on the door to the map room, and Tallulah kind of comes out. She looks at the ensemble party and goes, and she starts to make her way with Fen down the stairs.
She doesn't like us
Fuck you.
very much.
She's still trying to figure out who stole her books.
So where are we here?
So you
Never
guys are up
Also,
in
I'm
this
pretty sure,
this area
she
over here
knows.
that Shin is currently blocking.
Oh, sorry.
So these are the big crossbows.
Fantastic.
These are your 2 racks. And that's mask. That's a mask. So you guys,
It's a really thin mask there.
the big kid and the small kid,
I love Full
Sitting
Metal
there.
Alchemist.
and the rest of you are led down actually to the bottom deck, to that large kind of trapdoor thing in the middle that you guys had seen before.
Wait,
Yeah.
did Full Metal Alchemist or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? Choose.
Brotherhood.
Okay, thank you.
Stop.
And Fen turns to Tallulah, and Tallulah goes, and she cracks her knuckles, kind of stretches, shakes her hands out, and she begins to murmur something to herself. In which you guys have been around long enough now that you know what magic sounds like. And it's, some incantations are done in, like, whatever language you speak, but some of them have to actually use the language of magic. Right? So it's different spells and combinations put together. And she begins to murmur a spell and move her hands, kind of this orb-like fashion. And this small little glowing light appears. And it dips down, and it goes into a small, kind of curved entrance of this trapdoor, and it settles there, and it blinks once. Blue. 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 And then it goes ding! And with a hiss, the trapdoors begin to slide up. And it's dark down here, which is the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is that Fen has disappeared into the trap. Just fucking walked off. Right in. And Tallulah kind of gestures and goes, "Gentlemen first."
It's a trick.
I'll go first.
Cool. You two watch as Baz drops into the trapdoor.
I guess I'll go next.
And I'll follow.
Yup, yup. Tallulah jumps in after you guys, and the 2 trapdoors close. So you land rather safe, like rather softly actually. Like you fall quite a distance, and then you like smush into like a mat almost. And then Shin smushes into you, and then Tabak smushes into Shin.
Oh, great.
And Tallulah
Should have gone last.
lands very, very softly, like very daintily, on top of Tabak's like breastplate, and just pops off. And it's still very, very dark. You can like barely see. You see Fen is off to the corner,
Topic is
and he's got like a lighter out,
Um,
the magical equivalent of a lighter. And he's just kind of shuffling a deck of cards together and laughing to himself. And then he elbows something on the wall, and bing, 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 4 blue lights begin to light up the ceiling.
I was gonna ask if I could see anything.
Oh yeah, no, but you'll be able to see right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. But like
so
before, I'm guessing I could see anyway.
you could see anything. 4 blue lights light up the top of this room, and you guys see you have landed on a small mattress that's been set underneath this trapdoor. And as you guys climb off onto this kind of, it's wood on the outside, but there's a large metal casing around the center in a very, very big rectangle. Like, you guys fit on this thing easy. It's twice the size of the trapdoor would be, right? And Fen comes over and he just drags the mattress out of the way, tucks it against one of the walls. And Tallulah goes over to the opposite wall from where Fen is putting the mattress currently, and she begins to chant again. And she enters a second ball of light into a small carved circle in the middle. And she looks back at you guys as it begins to blink once, twice. And she says, "You might want to get off the trapdoor."
I move to the side.
I am also moving.
Like rodents. You just scurry to the edge, kind of flatten yourself against the back as the trapdoor starts to grind open. And underneath, you see darkness. And it's there for a second, and then the light that Tallulah's got up blinks again, and you see 2 little blue spotlights pop up underneath, because this is a layer of glass, and you're now looking down into the Greymyre. And you see, just as the lights go to flash on, you see a long curved tail flash by the window.
Oh god.
And Fen turns to you guys and he says, "Welcome to the observatory. This will be a fun
Can I
ride."
roll to cry? I got a 6.
Yeah, you've seen scarier.
Okay.
It's a little bit frightening, and like maybe you pee a little bit. But you're good.
I didn't roll to pee. I rolled to like.
Your bladder's crying. Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Fun.
I'm gonna say that a lot, by the way. Like, to everything you say, I'm just gonna be like, fantastic!
Because I'm
Let's get a fantastic counter going on.
Oh, yeah. You're already at
Okay.
the top of my page.
So, up on deck, Shishimi has moved the actual ship, is beginning to maneuver its way through the Greymyre. It's quiet. You can still hear the, like, slight murmuring sound, which is just kind of echoing off the rocks at this point, but it seems pretty peaceful. You're not too worried about anything right now. And then you begin to hear a small whistle. Like a little jaunty kind of tune being whistled. And it stops and it pauses for a minute. And it waits. And then it goes again. It goes and it goes and it goes and stops and it waits. But you hear a second whistle now. Coming from higher up. And it goes. And it stops. And it waits. And the first whistle joins back in and it repeats the whistle before. And then a third whistle and a fourth whistle and a fifth whistle until you have what must be 20 whistles. Just one after another. And Shishimi doesn't look like she's worried or anything, but you do see that she's getting ready, because nothing happens to Greymyre without reason. And she's definitely ready if something is to happen.
Wonderful.
Do you guys want to see if you can figure out the crossbows? So you can see if you
Yeah, I was
ask
gonna
for
say,
instructions?
can I start setting up one of those crossbow bolts?
Sure.
I'll do the same thing.
Roll me a survival check.
Survive. Oh boy. Oh no.
I
I'm
want
so.
to get your modifiers out there.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay. That's a 12.
Okay.
18.
18?
Okay.
So Kiza, you managed to fit the bolt. It's a little bit confusing and complicated, but once you figure it out, it's like, oh yeah, I've got this.
Okay.
Right? It's like seeing a toaster for the first time. You don't know what to do with it, but the second you put toast and hit the button, you're like, oh yeah, no, that's easy.
Fantastic.
Right? Charlotte, in the meantime, is sticking a fork into the toaster because she's trying to load the crossbow backwards, and it's not working out for her and stuff.
Oh, I thought it was just like, this bolt is too big. I can't. Kids are help.
Can I go show them how to do it?
So you showed Charlotte. You take like 5 minutes to just make sure Charlotte knows how to use the crossbow, and the whistling gets louder while you guys are going. And then it begins to quiet down. You actually hear a couple of the whistles have dropped off at this point.
Wait, I'm proficient in light crossbows.
Yeah, this
not
is not
a
a light
light
This is
crossbow.
not a light crossbow.
Well,
This is
I mean, it's like
not a light
considering I
crossbow.
don't even have to carry it. That's pretty light.
Cool. So, the whistling begins to drop off until it's about 3 whistles, just kind of echoing back and forth to each other.
3.
3 whistles. They're just
Can
going
I-
back and forth.
Can we point out where they are? Like, can we?
Make me a perception check.
Okay, cool.
Fantastic.
I'll not use those dice. That dice. I'm not using that one either, I guess.
Wow.
Is that
Wait,
a
what am I
nat
doing?
one?
That's
Perception?
It's a 4.
Yeah, but plus 4, so that's an 8.
An 8.
Slightly better.
It's coming from above you guys, like up on the top of these stone pillars and stuff. You can that's not too difficult to tell, and you're pretty sure it's not coming from the water and stuff, but you can't pinpoint where it is. It's echoing so much off these rocks that
Yeah,
it's
okay.
I got a 12, so.
it sounds like it's coming from at least one on the right side and two on the left side, but you're not sure where exactly.
Okay, well, that's somewhat helpful.
You have a vague idea of where they could be coming from.
Sushimi? Are we dealing with sirens?
Shishimi like glances over and stuff, and you kind of have to call across because it's like it is a bit of a distance. And she thinks to herself for a second, and shakes her head. She says, "Sirens don't do this sort of stuff. If I had to guess, harpies maybe, but they're not common in the Greymyre."
Alright.
Oh, that's not really reassuring.
And Shimi actually gives her own whistle, and it's a long whistle. It's not like they're whistling a tune across to each other. Shimi just gives like a calling whistle, and you see swoop down from the top of the crow's nest a large osprey, which is kind of like a sea hawk almost. And it lands on her shoulder, and she turns to it and she whispers for a second, and it takes off, and it just kind of starts to circle around the top of the ship.
Nice.
I'm really cold. I was just gonna
You guys want to do anything else, or?
You want part
Can
of this
I
blanket?
roll to see if I can perhaps figure out by the sound what this might be?
Yeah, roll me a nature check.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna roll that too.
Okay.
Let's try this dice. See if the third one works.
Please be a nat 20. Please be a nat 20.
It almost was.
It almost was.
Mine's a 14, so.
Nature?
Nature check, yeah.
11.
11? And
Yeah.
a what?
14.
14? Okay, let me find the page for this, which I probably should have done beforehand.
Hey, DM.
Yes.
Can you bless my dice?
Sure. Toss it over. So
I'd also
toss
like
it.
to DM to bless my dice.
Crud.
Here, hand them here. I can raise it.
But you can't touch my dice.
No, I'll be okay. I promise.
Can I pass them?
Fine.
Yeah, Dylan doesn't curse dice.
That's true.
That's Jason's job.
Did curse my dice before.
Get your nasty paws off my dice. God.
We just pause the game just like, oh
Bless
yes,
them
bless
dice.
these dice.
I think those ones are lost cause.
Put that one in jail.
Oh, my favorite dice in jail.
It rolled a nat one.
Oh, no.
That
Fine.
one's cleared.
That one's cleared. That one's clear.
Clear.
And that one's cleared.
And this one's cleared as well.
Well,
But the blue
20?
one.
I'm
If those
down
ones
to
don't clear,
one.
then I'll do another one.
13. It's cleared.
Thank you.
Enjoy your blessings. Okay. You got a 14 and a 12?
11.
11. Okay. You agree with Shimi. This does sound vaguely reminiscent of a harpy. You can't quite tell if it would be. It doesn't sound like the type of harpy that you would know, but it does have the same kind of tilt to it. Cool. Let's go back to the observatory. How you doing, guys?
Is this a game of Clue?
You know, a little dead on the inside, but that's about usual.
So Fen has dragged over two chairs, and he set them up against the kind of edge of the glass and stuff, so you can still look down and stuff. But him and Tallulah have taken a seat, and he's shuffling some cards back and forth, and they're talking quietly to each other. You guys are kind of sat on the edge. It's walkable glass. Like, you've seen Fen and Tallulah have crossed this glass like it's nothing and stuff. You're a little bit iffy on trusting it first, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look down into it.
Sure. Do you want to roll me a perception check?
Okay.
See if you can spy anything in the observatory.
15.
15. You catch a glimmer of white hair.
Okay. Gabber wants to keep watch, but he's also scared.
It would be perception.
Mm-hmm.
1 sec.
Can you
That would
bless
be
my
15.
D20?
15?
Can you bless my
15.
dice? It was
I've got to
8.
update this because my perception is. I have it as a +3, but it's a +4 because of my expertise.
There you go. Let's turn
So
into
it's a-
16.
Mine's a 15.
15? Okay. You look down and you catch a glimpse of it's very, very quick and stuff, and you're not quite sure if you caught it.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time you see it, it's kind of the same, like, rounded ears you would expect from, like, a human or something.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see it, it's slightly pointed.
Okay.
Sorry, is this inside or outside the ship?
This is outside the ship. This is below in the water.
Oh, okay.
So are we just keeping watch, basically?
Yeah, you guys are watching for things.
Well, how are you?
Is Tabit keeping watch?
He's trying. We're also basically underwater, kind of.
What did Tabit roll?
8.
8? You catch the glimmer of what looks like black scales almost, but they're gone so quick you can't be sure.
Spooky things in the water.
Fantastic.
Fen kind of like wades you guys over and things. We've got a while down here. Cards, anyone?
Okay.
Cool. He kind of gestures over to the back where he put the matches down, and you see a couple more chairs have been just shoved against the wall. He says, "Grab a chair, Baz."
Okay,
Waddle,
with jail.
waddle, waddle, waddle.
Can I come back?
Hey, question. How you get in there?
Walking
Going around the edge, or you going over the glass?
around the edge.
Okay. You go around the edge. Grab a chair and you go back around the edge. It takes a little bit longer, but you get there eventually with the chair. And you sit down. And
You
stuff.
just see like a little dwarf.
He's lifting him.
I have to go like it's from where is it?
So it's not actually drawn on the map. But if this is the trapdoor, you guys landed down on the center of where this would be. But it's like this large rectangle of glass, and he's kind of, the mattresses are up here, and the kind of panels up there, and they've set up on the side.
I have to go all the way over there and back. Oh man, little dwarf man.
You go
Dwarf man
quite a
with
while.
Messed up leg.
And he kind of looks to you too, and he says, "Cards."
I guess Shin kind of shrugs.
So he deals you out a couple of cards. Bez, are you proficient in gaming?
That's a thing?
Yeah.
Yes, you can have proficiencies in Dragon Chess and Dragon Ante and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you have a gaming
Originally, when I had
I don't
my
think so.
criminal background, the criminal background comes
No,
with a
no.
gaming
I have
proficiency.
costumes though and like
Okay.
But because I switched to an assassin's background, I gave it up for proficiency with disguise kit and poisoner's kit.
So now you have gaming, so it's wonderful. So Fen takes a minute to explain the game to you. It's basically high card wins. So we're going to roll percentile dice. You're gonna keep it to yourself, what you roll. And you're gonna make a bet on whether you think your dice are going to beat Fen's dice.
No, God.
Then we reveal if you got your bet right, you win a round. If you got your bet wrong, you pay a fee to the pot.
Okay.
You don't have to
The
soap
first-
either.
The first 1 to 3 wins, 3 rounds won, wins the pot.
Okay. Well,
Right? So
either way, I'm good.
so Fen sets down a silver coin in the middle, and he says, "You're buy-in for the pot."
I had one SP.
Hmm?
One of those ones.
SP, silver
Yeah.
piece. Okay, so you put down a silver piece. Tallulah kind of looks and she says, "Fine, I'll play." She puts down her own silver piece. And it's different from the silver piece that Fen puts down. Like, you guys have put down Illustra and things. She puts down a silver piece with a kind of like, what looks like a genie's lamp on it almost, rather than the classical, like,
What I
dragon
know.
symbol on yours. You can roll me a history check.
17. Wait. Oh no. 16, 17, 18, 19.
19? Okay. Yeah, no, so you recognize this. It's not too bad. You've dealt in this type of currency before. It's not, like, unseen. This is a Nazar silver coin. So it's got the same denomination and stuff. It's just different country. Okay. let's go.
Roll high.
Okay.
Oh.
So Tallulah looks at both of you and she goes, I win. And Fen looks at her and she goes, I'll bet 2 silver.
No.
And they both look at you.
I fucked up.
Are you seriously?
You have to
admitting
bet
that?
whether you will be the highest.
No, I'm not.
Or not.
I'm not.
Okay, so then you fold.
Full.
So Tallulah and Fen both count to 5, and then they reveal. And Tallulah puts down an 8 and a 4. An 8 and a 7. And Fen puts down a 5 and a 3. And he hands 2 silver pieces into a pot, and Tallulah sweeps it into a small pile because she likes order. And they get ready to roll again.
Do I roll or do they roll?
You roll again.
I'm just watching.
Yeah.
Okay.
Though, so it doesn't
Okay.
come back to bite.
So
in the butt.
Tallulah starts again, and she says,
I don't want to lose my silver.
I fold. And Fen goes and he looks at his cards and kind of smirks a little and says, 3 silver.
You don't have a good poker face, buddy.
This is ditto, not Baz. I think Baz would suck at it too.
Yeah, Baz doesn't have a
I
good
don't
poker
know.
face either.
I'll put down 1 gold.
One
gold.
I mean, I'm not going silver. Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh, like, oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, you only have to pay, right? So you bet 1 silver.
Yes.
If you
Yeah.
lose, then you have to pay it. If you win, you don't have to pay the pot. Okay. So Tallulah goes first, and she reveals a 3 and a 2. Doesn't win. Fen goes next, and he reveals a 9 and a 2.
No. I got a 49.
Oh jeez.
4 and a 9. And he says, better luck next time, dwarf man. And you click your silver piece into the pot.
Oh yeah, dude.
Okay.
Hey, buddies,
Wow.
you want to keep watch?
Oh well,
Yeah.
well. What do we have here?
Or all y'all just watch.
What's your
the
passive
party.
perception?
My passive perception
For
is
both of
13.
us?
13?
13.
Where's my D20 going?
Oh, and I'm gonna say that at this point, Shin, so
My
that it
passive
doesn't,
perception apparently is not good.
so that it doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. I'm saying that Shin has tied his hair up,
Okay.
just so that it doesn't like bite me in the ass somehow.
Yeah, Tabak is scored
Okay,
between
no,
sketching
you don't
and
notice
watching.
anything.
It's up to you. Roll a dice. If it's okay, if it's an even number, then yes. If it's not
Okay.
number, then no. Even.
Okay.
Okay, so Tallulah goes first.
Oh God.
I fold again. And Fen looks over and he says, no, I'm out.
Fuck. No. Okay.
That's
I'm in.
okay. How many silver?
I want to put down 1 gold.
1 gold?
Why?
Tallulah goes first.
Sorry,
She
that's my
reveals
fault.
another 2 and another 3. And Fen goes next and he reveals a 2 and a 0.
I got a 91.
Okay, yeah, no. Fen goes,
Finally.
bad luck. So you are now each 1 win.
Can I roll a perception check?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's another 15.
15? Okay. Where are you looking?
Down into the water.
Down into
Oh, I
the water?
forgot to roll.
Yeah.
And that was a 15?
15.
15. Okay. You see a face.
Mhm.
It's kind of small. The features are kind of blunt.
Mhm.
And it doesn't look up at you guys quite. You catch like a glimpse as it like sideways goes by. But you do catch a glimpse of like its cheeks almost seem to like swirl, like they're like morphing almost.
Okay.
And then it's out of the light.
Okay.
Okay. Tallulah goes first and she says, silver piece. And Fen looks at his and he goes, gold. Baz.
1 silver piece.
Silver piece. Okay, Tallulah goes first and she reveals 52. 5 and a 2. And Fen goes next and he reveals an 8 and a 0.
I got a 67.
Fen goes, bad luck. And both you and Tallulah pay up to the pot. Fen's at 2 wins now. Okay.
Oh, I keep forgetting to go.
I fold. Again. A copper.
Bitch. I'll put down 3 silver.
Tallulah goes first. A 1 and a 0. Then goes Fen. A 3 and a 5.
84.
Wonderful, wonderful. Fen goes. Pays up.
And I'm at 2 wins.
You're at 2 wins. Fen's at 2 wins. Tallulah is at 1.
Okay.
Tallulah says, I fold again.
Oh jeez, she's got some
She's got bad luck.
And Fen says, 3 silver.
3 silver as well.
Okay, Tallulah reveals a 1 and a 2. And Fen goes next with an 8 and a 7. And Baz?
That's a 79.
Yep, so you pay up to the pot. Is anyone keeping track of the tally right now? Nope. I have no clue what the money's at.
No.
Oh, me neither.
Okay,
I know.
wonderful.
There
2
was
gold.
Oh gosh, there was a lot.
Yeah, we'll count it back up.
Yeah.
But
We'll give it to you after.
we'll get you the winnings if you win. So you want to say something?
No. That was just
We're
Can
just
I make a
Is there anything happening?
yeah, make a
that's
perception check.
13, 14, 15,
Oh,
16,
shit.
17.
Okay, what are you looking at?
I'm looking down into the water again.
Nope.
Into the water again?
And you rolled a 19 when you threw it away.
Okay. You got a
It
what?
goes really
So
high.
13 plus 4.
I've never been in the
17.
middle
So
except for
easy.
67.
You watch down, and you actually, it's on the peripheral of your vision,
Mhm.
and if you hadn't been paying attention, you would not have caught it.
Yeah.
But you see a slim, pale hand stick to the glass at the edge of the boat.
Okay.
And it sits there for a second, and then it pushes off and it's gone into the darkness.
Okay.
Marmalade.
Tallulah, a copper. And Fen looks down at his and says, 2 gold.
Oh my god.
That's
3 silver?
okay. Tallulah holds up a 2 and a 0. And Fen holds up a 9 and a 7.
Holy shit.
Fucking bitch got 1 more than me!
Baz
Fuck.
holds up what?
I was a 97, I was a 94.
94. That's
That's
3
not
That's
more
not-
not one.
Can Baz do math?
No,
And
no,
Fen
I-
says,
Baz,
ooh.
Baz says ooh?
No, Fen.
Oh, I think he said Baz says ooh, and I was like,
Bad luck. Tallulah looks down at her cards and she says, fuck this game. She says, I fold again. And Fen looks at his cards and he looks up at you, Baz, and he kind of like squints and he says, 1 silver.
2 silver.
Okay, Tallulah throws down another 1 and a 2. And Fen holds up a 6 and a 5. Sorry, Fen holds up a 6 and a 5. And he looks at you and he kind of waves him and says, your turn.
7 and a 4.
And he kind of throws it. Fuck me. Okay, so you guys are now tied.
What the heck? What are you doing over there, Daddy?
Die.
Whoa! Are you
Oh my
okay?
I hit my knee. That was painful.
Lord have mercy on our souls. May God have
Tallulah
mercy.
throws her cards down. She says, "I'm fucking out." Fucking great. Okay. So Tallulah's out of the game. She could just fucking keep the money.
I swear to God. I swear to God, if
And
he gets this, I'm gonna shit
Fen
myself.
looks up at you and he smirks over his cards and he says, 3 gold.
2 gold.
Okay.
I swear
And
to God.
Tallulah flips over her cards for another 1 and 2.
He has a 1% chance of getting higher than me. I swear.
And Fen flips his cards over to reveal a 9 and a 7.
98, bitch!
Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm
There's
so
a 2%
excited.
chance of getting it higher than you.
I thought he was like, man, he's gonna roll 99.
And he says, "Fuck, you're good at this game."
Oh, no, I'm not!
And he pushes the bounty towards you. He says, "Fun. Anyone else for a second round?"
No, I'm out,
Tallulah
bitch!
says,
Cashing out!
"Fuck that shit." And then she walks over to the kind of
I don't
like
like
control
this dice
panel and she
anymore.
just
I
starts
feel like I
fiddling
won $1
with it.
million, but this is fantasy money.
Reese, you cursed my dice instead of blessing. The
I'm
one?
sorry. I have another dice set if you'd like to borrow it.
No, I'm gonna use this one instead.
Okay.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, up on deck, Bella.
Yeah, I wanna. Is there anything going on up there?
Oh yeah, no, a lot of shit. I need initiative rolls.
Oh, fantastic!
Charlotte,
What?
Initiative.
initiative.
Oh,
Wait, how do we
right.
do this again?
Who was
Roll a
Roll the
d20.
I
d20,
swear.
add
And
your
add your
initiative
modifier.
modifier.
guys
You
who
have to
was
re-roll
not
them.
watching?
You too.
Oh,
And then add this. So,
17.
17?
That's weird. I might not go
4.
last for once.
4?
Yeah. Nice.
Cool. Okay.
We're just down here playing cards and messing around.
Charlotte, can I get a dexterity saving throw from you?
No. I was gonna.
I
do the
knew
Mario
something
game
bad was
over
gonna
thing.
happen during this freaking card game. No one was watching out for us. Not that they
Well,
could tell us
I
anyway.
just want
but
a lot
I
of
was
money.
so
I could
mad.
pay for child support.
You don't need to support me. That's a 19.
19, yeah, no, you dodge out of the way as the form of a lithe woman with 2 large wings and spiky talons comes zooming in. The whistles cut off, and the second that they stop, this woman just dives from the sky. Just straight out of the mist, dives for you. And you manage to veer out of the way as she goes crashing into the mast. And she like clawed her way on so that she's like holding on like Spider-Man almost, right? And she turns to you and she goes, just bears 2 large fangs.
I hiss back at her.
Cool. It is Charlotte's turn.
That's your action now. Goodbye.
Can I turn the crossbow?
It does not rotate that way.
Okay,
No. It goes off. It's supposed to hit things away from the ship.
Great. Well, I'm gonna use my sling that can now use daggers.
Oh yeah.
Yay! I don't get to die this time.
Hopefully, don't jinx. Knock on wood.
That's not wood.
That's not what. Can we knock on Reese?
Oh, you a hard boy?
No. Okay.
Roll the dice.
That didn't count. That dropped.
Wait, what the fuck?
That. Oh god.
Apparently,
it's
my
the same
pink
one.
dice
That
was
was
just
a 2.
like, nope.
Plus proficiency. That's a 5. No, 4. That's a
4 to hit.
Yeah.
Roll me percentile dice, please. So 2 d10s. Same thing that they're using for cards downstairs.
I'm not prepared to lose my other digits, guys. 40.
Okay. Yep. You miss the hit. It kind of goes slinging past. You're a little bit wild after like spinning around to hit this thing because it just dived out of the sky randomly.
True.
But you don't manage to land the hit. But it seems like your sling holds up for it.
Okay, Reese,
Mm-hmm.
your blessing didn't work.
Mhm.
Okay.
This.
I said I would bless them. I didn't say I was gonna.
You cursed mine.
Hi.
Cool. You got a what initiative?
Oh, fuck. 4?
4?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. That is going to be 18 to hit Charlotte.
What? I mean, that hits.
Awesome.
No! What did you do that for?
I didn't do anything!
Actually, yeah, you hit me!
What? How did I hit you?
No. The
I
harpy
didn't hit
dives at you.
Why is she aiming at me?
Because you hissed at her!
So
That's
she wants the
true.
small child that looks edible.
Yeah, I'm not very edible. I'm covered in
Where's
scales.
Oh, darn it,
There
no.
it is.
Oh, why did I go up here with you?
That's going to be
I'm more of a target than
5 points of damage. As she
Oh.
just grabs onto you, scratches across the back of your
We had
Okay.
a full rest.
front of your cloak
But still, how
and
many
tunic.
total?
Okay.
Got 18 now.
What do I have?
fuck.
What do I have?
Hey, I've got all my spell slots. I can heal myself.
Kiza, it's your turn.
Yeah. What do I want to do?
After the harpy kind of like, she jumps off the mast, scratches you as she goes past, and then lands on the kind of like edge of where the, what's it called, the long part of the front of the ship.
The long part of the front of the ship.
Mast?
Not the
Star
mast,
man.
it's the,
Bow, stern, port, starboard.
What are you trying to say? Because
it's this
On ships, there's
thing
a
that goes up at the front.
oh,
The
Crap.
pointy thing.
Yeah, the pointy thing at the front of the
Penetration
ship.
hole.
I'm just
We'll
gonna
figure it out. Yeah.
yeah.
You
In
do
the
that for
bow.
me, please. Kiza.
That's not the
bow's
bow.
the front.
Let's see what
Just-
I want to do.
Just go to the, near the back.
Okay.
The bow should go bow, bow.
I have a question for you.
Me.
Should I use this or that? And like, cause like this I can slash it.
This one.
Okay.
Look at the percentage on that one. Plus 4.
Okay. Girl. Okay. I'm gonna use my great axe and attempt to
Hey, roll a
this
hit,
thing.
please.
Don't roll in that one.
13.
Okay.
Yep, you hit her. Roll damage.
Fantastic. Okay, wait. How do I?
Are
Did
you
you-
talking about the
It's-
bowstring?
1d12
Which
plus
would be
4.
like it's the part that comes off the front. Yeah, that would be the bow.
Let me see.
Bow strip?
But one sec,
This one.
it's bowsprit.
Bowsprit.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool, so she
10,
landed on the
14.
bowsprit. 14? Oh yeah, no, this thing like screeches as you just fucking mash into her, mangling one of her wings.
Fantastic! Oh, dang it!
Huh?
That's 2
I have
for
a
the
fan-
counter.
No, that's 5.
What?
For what?
I have
fantastic.
a fantastic counter, a wonderful counter, and a lovely counter. Because after they say things, those are my words that I go to. So.
Okay, cool. It's Charlotte's turn.
Oh, right. Okay. Can I try that again?
Yeah, sure. She
Better
is.
dice this time.
She is standing like right
like
next to
my
you,
phone.
Oh.
so she's like 10 feet away.
Okay,
It's a
I'll
rocket
just
ship.
stab her with my dagger then.
'Kay.
Cool. Let's
Angry child.
try it this time. You didn't bless these dice.
Do you want me to try?
So, let's see. Let's have my first. That's an 8.
An 8? No.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to try to bless him?
You just kind of,
Doing pretty good.
as the harpy kind of reels back from getting hit with the axe, you go and you just miss. Okay, the harpy is going to fly at Kiza,
You don't touch the dice.
and that is going to be 17 to hit.
That probably hits. Let me just double check. Yes, that hits.
Okay, that's going to be 4 points of damage as she slashes across your front with her claws.
4.
It needs. I want to get.
I'm guessing we
You
can't
need,
hear
like,
this
a
from
dry
the
erase
observatory.
marker.
We have
It's
no
It's
idea.
very
what it
quiet
is.
down there.
Yeah, we have no idea
We're on the
anything's
very
going
bottom
on.
of the ship.
Yeah.
Unless somebody comes to get us, we won't know what's happening.
And sooner or later, you may be in a hole.
How long have we been going?
Bottom of the sea.
It's almost 9 o'clock.
So almost an hour.
Yeah.
So we'll
Are we
take a break after this.
So,
Okay.
let me bless these dice real quick.
We should probably get food at some point.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea. You're really smart. Yeah, I like
I was
that
actually gonna pick up food at Tibby's, but
one.
like
18.
Oh,
I can come with you and Bella.
Cool.
not Noah.
So you take 4 points of damage as she slashes her claws across the front. And it is now Kiz's turn.
Fantastic.
So
is she?
I just thought about something. You know what I actually think would really good and
Fantastic!
would actually work really well? If Jasper and Bella did,
that's it.
if Jasper and Bella
What?
did Taco and Loop, because they look similar enough.
Fighting.
I'll
Wait.
go with you and Jasper to get food later.
Okay.
I forgot
Sorry.
that.
Go.
You forgot.
That's why I was like,
Okay.
What?
It's my turn.
Yes.
Are they on me?
It's okay.
She's like
Savage.
standing. You're like right next to her. She's sitting on the bowsprit. It's like the part that comes off, and you're just in front of her.
I kind of want to use that, but I don't know. Oh boy. I could poison her.
Jason?
I could attempt to poison
They
her.
know.
No.
I don't know.
Are we
Should I hit her or
Just
attempt
hit
to
her.
poison her?
Are
Just
we
hit
gonna
her.
be using the map?
Okay.
We will.
I'm gonna hit her with my.
Using the
They're
what?
fighting right now, so
Oh,
you
yeah.
should
this one again.
I'm gonna hit her with my great axe again.
Whoa!
So.
Charlotte's kind of over here.
9. Is
Do I
that
have a
plus
harpy
strength?
with me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus strength is 10, 11, 12, 13.
So there's only one harpy?
13.
It's just the
13.
one.
Again.
13 again? Yep, you
But
hit.
there are at least
Okay.
3 vessels that we still
What do I hit
consist
for?
At least try it again, because it's nice. So it's kind of sitting on this little top area that's like raised up.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
12.
12
Yeah.
damage? Oh yeah, no. She screeches again. As you're just mangling this thing. Like it's freaking out. It thought it'd get a quick meal out of like the kid that's on board this ship, but it is clearly not getting what it wants. And it is Charlotte's turn again.
Guys, I told you it was a spirit. The lights aren't flickering now.
Yeah.
Maybe the spirit is also watching our game.
It's like, that's probably it.
Maybe that's why all of our dire crews.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bella had a nerdy spirit
Yeah.
in her basement.
No, my spirit's name is Steve.
Oh, hey, Steve!
Steve.
You have to be nice to him. He's actually really good. He protects me. He's great.
Love you, Steve.
He's lovely.
Okay.
Hey, watch our stream, Steve.
Hey, watch our stream, Steve. At Hey Dungeon Master.
I'm gonna use my dagger, and I'm gonna use shocking grasp with it again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and stab this lady.
Roll the hit, please.
Yeah.
You could re-roll
I
that because
swear.
it got
Yeah, it
stuck.
got hit.
Yeah.
Roll it like over.
No, roll it
Oh,
over the.
roll
No, that was an 18. It's fine.
Sure. It hits. You don't even have to add. It's gonna hit.
Great. Okay.
Roll me some
lightning,
damage.
melee. Advantage
Melee.
if they're wearing armor made of metal, but I'm fine
Nope.
with that.
This thing's not even wearing
1d8
clothing.
lightning damage.
Great. So there's a giant taloned woman.
She's not wearing like clothing. There's just feathers covering
Yeah,
stuff.
they're
Like she doesn't
feathers.
have parts or anything. It's
She
just,
doesn't have parts.
she looks like a walking, talking bird
That was
almost.
Great.
Except she's got the head of a woman and like the figure of one. It's just she's got wings and feathers on her body.
KFC.
Okay, well, I stab this winged lady, and I say, "Eat this, bitch!" and I give her 2 points of damage.
Okay, she screeches once more, and it's her turn now, and she's going to attempt to run.
She died then. That would be horrible.
So she just
I think
she's like reeling back from this thing, and she goes to flap both wings, and she's just fucking back into the fog. She's not fucking messing with this shit. She's
I
almost.
thought I slashed one of her
After 2
wings.
points of damage.
You did slash one of her wings, and like as she goes, she does that kind of awkward wobble where like the one wing is like struggling to keep up with the other wing, and you see a set of like a second set of like hands reach out from the fog on top, and you hear the harpy screech once more, and then you don't hear any sound as it's like just disappeared into the top of the fog. With that little harpy attack, we'll take a small break. So we can get some water and you guys can, I don't know, like, marinate on this?
Gotta marinate some stuff.
Is that the word?
Yummy.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back in, like, half an hour so we can have some food. Get an early start
We've
to
been
our
since
thing.
5 and we haven't eaten.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you soon.
Oh, okay.
We're good at this. We
Uh-huh.
swear.